Welcome to Cookin USA. I'm Merle Ellis, and we are cooking today from Dallas, a book called Dallas Cuisine, compiled by Dottie Griffith, who's the food editor down at the Dallas Morning News. It's got all kinds of recipes from the various very nice restaurants around Dallas. About 100 different recipes, from cultural things, you know, to good cross-cultural fare, and collected from over 50 of the restaurants down there, from Turtle Creek to the Mansion on Turtle Creek. Well, it's just a bunch of great restaurants and a lot of good recipes. We're going to do two recipes from the book: roasted beef tenderloin with rutabaga potato gratin, and a lobster papaya quesadilla with pineapple serrano salsa. A couple of good recipes. And Tammy Algood is with us, so that's always good for a lot of fun. So we got a neat book to cook out of today. So let's cook along. We're going to make up roasted beef tenderloin. And if you'd like to follow along as we make that, if you'll get out your copy of Cookin USA Volume 8, look up show number 551. You can follow along as we make roasted beef tenderloin with rutabaga potato gratin. Here's what you need: 3 pounds of beef tenderloin steaks, and some dried basil, oregano, rosemary, minced garlic, a little cracked pepper, olive oil, and salt. And for the rutabaga potato gratin, some rutabagas, potatoes, olive oil and onion, and some minced garlic, heavy cream, salt, and pepper. A little minced rosemary to flavor that up real good, and some shredded Parmesan cheese to top it all off with. Let's talk a little bit about a couple of the ingredients that we're going to use. Garlic is, there's no such thing as too much garlic. This is pretty much the one that you see very often in the supermarket. But look at the ones that are getting more and more available these days. Elephant garlic, absolutely fantastic stuff. Let me take some of this out. A neat way with this elephant garlic is just to do what I just did. Cut off the top, and then drizzle a little olive oil over that. Put it in the oven and bake it real slow at about 275 degrees, and then you can pop it out, and it's so nutty and doesn't have that real strong garlicky flavor. Doesn't even do anything to your breath. It just makes good food. Rosemary. We have a little rosemary here. If you've got fresh rosemary in your garden, you are a fortunate folks, because it's so good when it's fresh. The way to use it is to just strip off the little teeny leaves and take that tough part off, and then just rinse those up and dry them. You can dry these things just by hanging them in your kitchen, but the rosemary fresh is so good. And then you just mince this up good and use that in your dishes. We're going to use some of it today. Rosemary, one of the great herbs we have available to us. And if you'd like to know more about all kinds of herbs and spices and a whole lot of other things, we've got a little book that's got all kinds of tips, Cookin USA A to Z Tips, and I'll tell you how to get that in a minute. Let's get started making this roasted beef tenderloin. And we're going to start with the sauce that goes on the rutabaga and potato gratin first. We've got a little oil here, and to that we will add some onion. And just saute that off until the onion is kind of limp. And then add a bit of garlic. And we'll do the same thing, just cook that down a little bit. And then we have our rosemary that we have chopped up. Put that in. And when that gets cooked down nicely and the onions softened a bit, add some heavy cream. And let that cook for just a few minutes while we get our steak ready. We might want a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on that. And then we'll get our steak going. Okay, let that cook. We've got a tenderloin of beef over here, nice lean piece of tenderloin. We're going to make a dry rub to go on that. The dry rub consists of a little basil, oregano, a touch more of the rosemary, a little garlic, a little olive oil, salt and pepper. And this makes a nice dry rub. They use a lot of dry rubs down in Texas for all kinds of things, from beef brisket to tenderloin. So when you get that mixed together, then just spread it on your steak on both sides. Tenderloin is, of course, the most tender cut of beef in the animal. But this one, and I think a lot in Texas, they like it well done, because this cooks for about 20 minutes. It goes first into hot fat, and we'll brown that off good on both sides. And after it's browned off, we'll put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. So we'll let that brown. Let's go over here and assemble our gratin here. We've got some rutabaga. They go into a little pan that we have sprayed with a little non-stick spray. And then little potatoes on top of that. And when our sauce is finished over here, the sauce goes on top of the rutabaga mixture, and that goes into an oven, 350 for about 45 minutes. And in the meantime, we finish off our steak in these great pans. The nice thing about this, because this calls for cooking, browning on both sides, and then it goes into the oven. The nice things about these Vision pans is that they work really well on top of the stove. They also go into the oven. Some good stuff. When it's finished, it comes out looking almost as good as the one that Terry put together for us here. You got the steak with all the good stuff in it, and the potatoes rutabaga au gratin. Nice dish from a neat book, from a neat part of the country down in Dallas. We're going to do another recipe from the book, and Tammy Algood is with us. But 'tis that point in the program for our trick of the trade for today.
You can flavor your roast, any kind of roast, beef, lamb, pork, by generously using cloves of garlic and fresh herbs. And it's simple to do. You can go ahead and peel yourself some garlic, cut it up into some little slivers, like I've got here. And then all over the roast, go ahead and make some small incisions, also around where the membranes are, and place your pieces. Kind of tuck them down in there. It's going to permeate the entire roast. Don't be afraid of putting too much, because the garlic really mellows as it roasts and imparts a wonderful flavor in the meat. We've got rosemary I'm going to use today. Go ahead and place that fresh rosemary all around, and you'll be surprised about how good your roast will taste.
Good trick of the trade. Don't go away. Tammy Algood is with us, and that's always a lot of fun. We'll be right back right after this. I would like you all to meet and welcome Tammy Algood. Thank you for coming in again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. You're going to do a recipe from Dottie's book here.
Yeah, this is a good one.
What is it?
Taco sundaes with fruit salsa.
Taco sundaes with fruit salsa. If you'd like to follow along as Tammy makes this recipe, if you will, here's what you need to do that. For the sundaes, some 4 flour tortillas, and the vegetable oil and cinnamon and sugar, and some ice cream and whipped cream, and 4 sprigs of mint. And then for the salsa that goes in and under, peaches, strawberries, sugar, and ginger, and grated lemon peel. That's kind of a tacos in a... It's
I know.
Don't normally think of.
Well, and we're going to actually do this a little different from the recipe. We're going to make this a little healthier for those that don't like to fry.
Okay, because these would normally be deep fried.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. But this is a really easy thing to do. Have you seen these in the store, Merle? This actually comes in the package with your tortillas, and there are these little shells that you can make, these little cups, and all you do is just easily put them together, and you're ready to just take your tortillas. These happen to be flour. These really work the best rather than corn. And this is it. I mean, you just kind of put them on your bowl here, and then you're going to bake them in the oven for about 5 or 6 minutes, and this is what it comes out looking like.
It just kind of droops down and firms up, and you've got a little cup.
I know, I love this. Easy stuff, just great out. I think it's terrific. And this, so you're all ready to fill it.
Could you do these ahead of time and save them?
You can do these ahead of time and save them. And again, use the flour, because the corn's going to crack. That's the traditional tortilla, but the flour tortillas are much better for this.
Now, these things would be great for, I mean, we're doing sort of a fruit dessert thing, but man, that'd be a great way to serve chili or
a salad. I know, wouldn't this be great?
Fun stuff.
I know.
Okay, what are you making here?
Okay, so let's make the goodies to go in it, and
I'll put these in the oven. And bake them,
yeah, you need to do that. And let me tell you, you know, a lot of times now it's cold outside, and we think we can't get a lot of fresh fruit, but we really can. There's a lot coming in from Chile in particular, and we've got some really pretty strawberries here, and I'm going to use peaches with this. Now, actually, Merle, you could use anything you wanted to use here. There's lots of kiwi coming in from Chile right now, and so don't think that even though these are summer fruits that you can't get them in the winter, because they're still available.
If all else fails, there's the frozen food case, which ain't all that bad, right? You know?
Well, that's true too. I'm just going to mix this up and add a little bit of lemon zest to that. And I've got some crystallized ginger here that I'm also going to put in there, give it a little bit of spunk. And then we're just going to toss this, we'll get out of there, with some sugar. Okay? And just mix this up real good. This, again, you can make this ahead of time. And
now, that would be a good salsa with some fish or chicken or something like that.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't this be good? Yeah. And anything you can put in there, grapes, whatever you want to do. So, Merle, let's see if we can put one together here. You want to? We've already got one ready here. And the first thing we're going to do is the ice cream. We're going to put that in there first.
Okay, so you want a scoop of ice cream?
Yeah, do a scoop of ice cream, and I'll do the salsa. And
one enough for a couple of them?
Well, you know, I'm pretty hungry.
So
let's do a couple of those. And if you'll dip your scoop in some ice water, that kind of keeps it from sticking. I know, isn't that
all this good stuff
easy to do? Oh, see, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. You beat me to it. And I'm just going to spoon some of the salsa around here. There we go. Isn't that pretty?
It is. Very pretty.
And then we're gonna fancy this up a little bit. Now, one of the things you can do, and we didn't do this, but you can put some cinnamon sugar all over this, and that kind of gives it kind of a little Tex-Mex thing too. So you could sprinkle that with cinnamon sugar if you wanted to, and then we're just going to put some whipped cream on the top of there. You know, this is a life staple. Whipped cream, and then we're going to put some mint sprigs on there, make that a little pretty. And you've got your taco.
And yours looks almost as pretty as the one that Terry did for us.
I don't know. It's close, isn't it?
Not bad. Not bad. Thank you, Tammy. Always a pleasure.
Okay, great, Merle.
We're going to do another recipe from Dottie Griffith's book, Dallas Cuisine. We're going to do the lobster papaya quesadillas with pineapple serrano salsa. Whew, it's a mouthful right after this.